So yeah, again, thanks everybody for coming out. This is our first tourism summit. One thing that we wanted to, and we're switching up things, wanted to try to bring in, give these sessions, have opportunities for people that are interested in learning a little bit more in detail about what we did this past year for our marketing program. Give you a chance to kind of sit, not have to sit through that and then the entire rest of the meeting. Nor?
I just want to throw one thing out here. Hey, everybody, thanks for coming first. And secondly, we're recording these sessions. So the one that you don't get to, you'll be able to go online and see it probably by the first part of next week. We'll have it up and ready to go.
Yep.
So, and thanks, Mike, for putting all this together.
Yeah.
See you later.
Okay. Yeah, and we have some pretty good speakers lined up. Meredith Publishing is coming in with their research and information that they have access to with their readership. That should be great later. And then the health insurance change is coming up. So yeah, good sessions that hopefully you have a chance to take something away from. But okay, as for today, we have some positive results from this past year. And we'll talk about those. The year highlights, the overall totals, campaign, and then the campaign results. We'll kind of dive down a little bit in detail. Break out like print, what we did, digital, what we did, and the the analytics from those, the numbers that we're able to track. So, and we'll try to mix it up and keep it at least somewhat lively as far as looking at numbers, anyway. So, yeah, from this. You get these, and I just want to take this chance to, Matt's in the room. I think that's it, but and I'll present this later as well. But this is the marketing team for 2013. Alicia Bowe, our communications director, she started in July. Cole Kuhlfeld, who has been our art director for 20 plus years now, so I'm sure everybody in the room has really had a chance to meet her. Greg Valadolid, Matt Peters. This is a team that everything that we do. Everything that we've put out this past year, they did. And so as far as all our 2013 successes, they're the ones responsible for that. They're the ones responsible for, winning Addies for the app, winning the Custer State Park Chili Showmanship Award, getting letters like, thank you for the very best article written to date on our park for M Hill. People writing into tourism saying, yours was the best vacation guide that we found of 12 states we visited. The app update, saying people discovered it and they discovered more about the hills that they wouldn't have known about using that. And then the best one, we just got this one, I want to say, maybe a week or two ago. Yeah, I was going to say not too long ago, which, these guys have a fantastic Facebook page, great blog, wonderful pics, and they just make me want to visit South Dakota. So, it's one of those things where, that question can still be out there as well. What social media, like what results do we see from it? What does it do? Do people book? It's great to see these fans that are following the Black Hills Facebook page, seeing all the beautiful photos that people are, putting up there. They're saying, yeah, this just makes me want to go there. So, just what we were hoping it would do. We'll start out broad. The tourism index that we've put together that we use to kind of put up that scorecard number for, media outlets, people that are calling. That's like the most popular question around our house is, how's the year going? How's people doing? And, it's businesses in Custer want to know how the year's going so they can, kind of relate. Like, am I up, down compared to everything else? So tracking the tourism index so far this year from January through September, the numbers we reported were up 3.9% over 2012, which 2012 I believe was up 5% over the year before. So it's one of those things where everybody had a fantastic year, and we've heard stories. It's kind of maybe feast or famine. It's here or there. Some people have been down, but as far as the numbers that we're seeing, that we're reporting, that we're collecting on a monthly basis, so far the year's been pretty good, and that's due to the efforts of everybody in this room. The various marketing programs that state has, Rapid City has, that we have, all of that working together to generate more interest in the Black Hills and get more people here. So numbers are strong through September. The taxable sales is kind of the probably the most important one, because that's the thing. We want people here and we want them spending money. That's up 5.1% for the year. October now is going to be, that'll be interesting to see what happens there. That's kind of the yeesh. It's I know Senres, Susan from there said that they were down, I think, considerably as far as cancellations and that sort of thing. We've heard from some hotels, about obviously people weren't able to get here with the blizzard, and then with Mount Rushmore closing, the impact of that. So October will remain to see what that'll do to that number. But it's been good so far. Hopefully we have enough cushion that when's all set, when everything is said and done, January, we'll be good to go. So package sales, everything that we do, with our 800 number or driving traffic to our website, we have basically 3 conversion points on that we have. Ordering a vacation guide, signing up for an ATV, that way at least we're getting their names. And then most importantly too is booking, people actually researching their trip and then now making that decision to buy and come here. So far, January, this is just for the calendar year now, we are up 57% month to date and up 37% to the entire year. So we've had just a fantastic year, and it's one of those things where, looking in correlation with the tourism index and what we're kind of tracking there, this too is just kind of confirming, like, yeah, things are going pretty well. People that are coming to our site are booking. They're calling up. The people that are seeing the vacation guide or that sort of, they're calling in and they're booking packages. And the average booking value has been up this year. Talking with Susan, that was one of those things to see, if they got some, what have they changed in-house to really, doing, what are they doing differently to maybe add to that? And she did say that we can take some credit for that. So we will take some credit for that. Average booking is up. We're getting better customers that are, booking more rooms, staying longer, everything we'd hoped they would do. So. One new thing that we did this year, which was a big program for us, was our new member pre-roll. Which, if anyone's not familiar, what we did was, these are the online your online TV spots. You go to view a video on YouTube or whatnot, the little ad that plays before you see what you really want to. That's what the pre-rolls are. A couple years ago, we did a survey asking our membership, what would you like to see more of offered from Black Hills and Badlands? Is it more co-ops in print or direct mail or digital? And digital came back number 1, so this was something that we rolled out, put together to at least expand our co-op offerings for members. And it oversold. We went into the year with $20,000 budgeted, basically allowing for maybe 20 partners or 10 partners, 2 spots apiece, whatnot. And we oversold it by $25,000. The popularity of it was something that we did not expect. Really kind of caught us off guard, but was just fantastic to see in its first year. I mean, that's one of those deals where you put together a new program, hoping that it's going to help out, and see people were responding to that, signing up, and the results from that now have been good. Overall, with all of the runs that we did have, the partner spots, we generated 1.9 million impressions, and we're able to track 5,644 clicks directly from those that came to our website. And the nice thing about that too was 97% of those clicks were brand new traffic. They'd never been to our website before. So, it's one of those things where more than likely maybe had never researched or looked at the Black Hills. So, we were able to inspire them to come to our website and start seeing more. And I'll play an example. What we did with these, as far as the setup, we did a 15-second donut that was kind of, so we set it up as a donut where 15 seconds, the first part of it was Black Hills, our spot, kind of playing all the great reasons to come visit here. Rushmore, Crazy Horse, Badlands, and then the partner spots filled in the rest.
Miles of adventure, a lifetime of memories. Wall, South Dakota, home to Wall Drug, a wonderland of attractions and unique photo opportunities. Welcome to your window to the west, just north of the Badlands of South Dakota, home of the Great American Road Trip.
So we were able to produce these using Greg's voiceover talents and other skills. The nice thing was, since we could produce those in-house, that made it so we could offer up a program like that, which is affordable. We're making sure that our price point was down for the member. Since we're not paying an outside agency or someone $500 to produce those little spots, that's something we could take on ourselves. So then we could sell those just for $500 for 42,000 impressions. And yeah, like I said, we saw some great results from that. The one other thing about the pre-rolls too is, our web traffic was up significantly. Our web traffic was flat this year, but our direct traffic was up significantly. And that was one thing, that direct traffic was up 91%, which total, that equated to about 92,300 people that were coming directly to our website, not searching Black Hills, not searching Badlands or anything like that, but going blackhillsbadlands.com. So outside of the 5,644 clicks that we had going to our site, we had the substantial growth in direct traffic of people that were seeing our, that just knew the website. They'd seen it before or whatnot, and they were typing it in directly. So that was huge. The negative to report here, or one thing of concern, is we saw our organic search traffic down on Black Hills Badlands this year, and that's one thing that we're working hard to, for next year to remedy. So we'll, be doing a new website. Ours is dated. It's one of those things where it's time, needs to be freshened up. We have some functionality and features that we can improve on, and we're hoping that that'll, kind of take care of that. But until then, it's marketing components like this that, as long as at least those are working, we can offset that and still see that despite a 26% drop in organic traffic, which was about 121,000 visitors, we're able to make up on some of that. So that really was key this year, and that's one of those things where, new things like the pre-roll campaign, we have to, make that assumption that here's where we're seeing some extra results from that. So. And then, too, with the website, our direct assisted conversions were up 43%, which is, think of it like, say, an assist in basketball or hockey or something. It's, before someone scores, it's the last person that really kind of set up the play or, got them. So that was one of those things where the people that were coming directly to our site and then converting, booking, signing up for a vacation guide, that was we saw substantial growth there. So. Total for the year, we had 828,000 visits in the fiscal year 2013, which is October 1st to September 30th, 634,000 unique. Our top 5 states this year were Minnesota, South Dakota, Illinois, Nebraska, and Wisconsin, which the change there from last year would be Iowa and Colorado were coming in at 4 and 5 last year. Those are now coming in at 6 and 7. And so, we certainly had a few more marketing efforts that were targeting, there are things with the Twins, or we had a lot of pre-rolls that were running out in Minnesota, Iowa, Nebraska, into Wisconsin, Milwaukee, Clare, those areas. So we saw some results there. Colorado dipped a little bit, but they're still close. The change wasn't that significant as far as those states dropping. So, and with the continued, it's one thing that I'm sure everybody's seeing, which, the way travelers are moving around now, researching, is changing to the handhelds, tablets, mobile. Last year we saw that traffic grow significantly to where it was combined about 14% of our overall site traffic was from either a smartphone or from a tablet. Now Google and their analytics, they split those out. So this year 13.7% of our traffic was from mobile phones, 12.5% from tablets. So we went from 14% of our overall traffic to 25%. And that's one thing too. So now when we're talking new website, or we're talking about things that we can do going forward, keeping the 3 screen in mind. It's not just about, say, the desktop, the laptop, or whatnot anymore. People are researching, looking, at different places in their life, and they're using the handheld devices because they're quick and accessible. So things that we're doing now going forward, we're going to make sure to keeping that in mind. And this too, like I'll keep rambling here, but if you guys have questions or anything at any point, just be sure to yell it out, and we can, this is kind of a nice little open forum, small group where we can definitely talk about it in that sense. So, yeah.
Sorry, I missed it when you said last year your total for mobile and tablets was just 14%.
14%. Yep, 14% of our traffic. So, 7.9 from the phones, 7% from tablets. So, again, it's interesting to watch that growth. Another exciting thing for this year is we went. We were pretty excited last year when or a couple years ago when our app went international. This year our website went intergalactic. Google Real Time is this really addicting thing that you have on the analytics where you can see who's on your website right now, what they're looking at, where they're coming from. It's terribly addicting. It's one of those things where you just every now and then it's nice to just pop in there and see like who's on, where are they coming from, what are they looking at. And one morning I got on and it was about 9:25 in the morning, and this was what we popped up for a location map. The International Space Station was checking out blackhillsbadlands.com. I don't know how that worked out. I don't know what they were, and I shamefully I don't know what they were looking at, but it was there. And then the fun thing was, 9:45 in the morning, I checked back again just to see what that was, and here you can tell that the space station in orbit went from over Central America to Spain, Madrid, whatever. Yeah, so that was kind of fun. So yeah, we went intergalactic this past year. That's a huge feather in our cap. So of all things, we at least have that. Facebook. This was something that we, as part of the Digital Strategies Collective, which was a bunch of partners, from throughout the hills that were, came together 5 or 6 years ago, understanding the importance of digital advertising, the growing importance of social media, that sort of thing. TDG started off the Black Hills Facebook page. We took that over a couple of years ago as admins. And we've seen fantastic growth with that. I'll keep saying fantastic. We should have made a drinking game of it with coffee or something, but it was really one of those years that we have good results to show. So this year, the Black Hills Facebook page likes were up 10,682. Total from the posts, the likes, the pages, the post comments, everything else. We saw 14.4 million total impressions there. And what we really want to see is that weekly engagement number. I mean, we don't want to see just the number of fans go up. We want to see the people that are actually responding to the information that's out there, that they're liking it, that they're, that they're reading a story or they're seeing a blog post, that they're, responding to it, or, see a beautiful photo, they share it with their circle. Our weekly engagement was up again 32%. So last year we were able to grow that. I think a couple years ago when we took over, the average weekly engagement was 1,800. Last year was about 3,070, and this year we were up to about 4,074. So and with that, yeah, I mean the total number of fans has increased, so certainly that, more fans, hopefully that's more potentially people to be engaged. But as far as the growth, the percentages there, you can see that we can tell that they're really responding to the messaging that's put out there. And we have and the nice thing is we still have a little bit more room for growth. This fall we kind of changed up our strategy a little bit more. Now we got Alicia Bowe in place. She started in July, and this is definitely a medium that she's comfortable in, and we've been able to start now working towards a strategy that we've seen in the past 6 weeks. Now all of our numbers just jumped dramatically, whereas we were adding through the course of the year, it averaged out to probably 29 new likes a day. Now over the past 6 weeks we've been at about 205 new likes a day average. The engagement, everything has just been skyrocketing. So that started in September, and now it's something that again will kind of continue and carry through. We're changing up a little bit of how our approach to it, in the sense that we're putting out more great content. She's doing a great job with that. We're putting a little bit more money behind promoted posts to make sure that we are getting out there to new people to see, and then changing up the days and the times that we are posting things. That's something that it's always important to track and take, really consider how people are using Facebook and whatnot. So things like the fan photo Friday contest or whatever. We start out in the morning with a little teaser showing one of the non-winners from the week before, because there's so many great, amazing photos, and it's a shame that some of these don't win. So we're able to use one of those again, put it up as a reminder in the morning to, hey, be sure to vote for your Fan Photo Friday contest winner, and then we announced it on Saturday. That was one thing. We always did it Friday afternoon, but by waiting till Saturday morning to do that, that's one thing where then that allows that Friday post to really make sure it gets to more people, maximizes the reach of that, and then we're hitting them again on Saturday morning, which is Saturday morning, Sunday morning. It's a great time where people they're at home, they're on their couch, they're on their tablet, checking their Facebook page, whatnot. So that's just one of those changes that we made in this past 6 weeks that we'll continue doing going forward. And I know there's it's one of those things too with Facebook. It's the question is always how many times a day do we how many times a week should I be posting? How many times? BCF the other day said start with 2 times a day and work it down from there. I think there's a lot of the other agencies you see once a day is kind of a general rule that a lot of people see. We're doing about 5 posts a week right now. That's what we found has worked out pretty well for us. If we start going over that, our content suffers a little bit, you know, and it's one of those deals. And then we have seen some more negative feedbacks from that. So we're kind of keeping at that 5 for right now. You know, we were at 4, we jumped it up to 5. We'll probably, you know, look at 6 and try that out for a while and feel that out. But so it's in between. I know, and Dream Plan Go is another one that I was just looking at the other day, and their recommendation is about the 5 times. So yeah, depending on who you ask, it really varies. Is what they say is the most effective. But as long as you're doing it, you know, consistently, is what matters most, and that's where we've jumped that up just a little bit, and we can continue to grow that going forward. So we can see these numbers increase. Questions? Good? Wanda? Yeah, no.
Just out of curiosity, I wonder, and maybe you don't know this offhand, but your Facebook fans, where they're coming from, does that align with what you're seeing in your web traffic too?
Yeah, I mean, as far as the region, you know, it really is one of those deals where it's Wisconsin, Illinois, Iowa, Minnesota, you know, Colorado is in there, represented small, but yeah, it is pretty consistent with that. You might have a few more outliers, maybe, you know, which is, because I know one thing with the Black Hills Facebook page is the people that have scattered and miss home, and you know, like those are really, we see a lot of, but yeah, it's pretty consistent with that.
Are you getting play off your photo?
The Fan Photo Friday yeah, it's that's one thing that, you know, like from the beginning, I think it was part of the, you know, something that was started up, and it's just taken on a life of its own. I mean, you know, outside of us just taking the opportunity to put that reminder out there, I mean, we just do that so we can, you know, play up another beautiful photo that, but yeah, it's something that people love it. I mean, they just absolutely, and that's like that Facebook comment I was referring to, like, you know, they just make me want to go there. I mean, this is content that people have created themselves, you know, I mean, this is their friends, their family, their peers that took these photos, not say Chad Koppis from the state, you know, doing the good job he does, but someone with a, you know, an iPhone or whatnot, and yeah, they really like it, and we get some great play from that. Which actually, thank you. We had our top post this past year. This was it technically falls out of the fiscal year thing, so I'm cheating a little bit here, but this was recent. This was something that we got play on this that we'd never seen before. Mount Rushmore, when the partners, you know, when the state stepped in with the, you know, private investors and opened it back up, Alicia Bowe was out there Monday morning, 7:30, to get a picture of the first people that were there, you know, to see the monument. Put this up, I think about 8:30 in the morning on Monday, something like that. And we saw, and it was funny too, because I think before she even left the mountain, you know, she texted me and she was like, you know, this already has 500, you know, within I think like 10 minutes, it already had 500 likes, so many shares, and she was like, that's not normal. A week later, you know, there's 20,000, or actually I was gonna say 18,298 likes, 838 comments, 962 shares. You know, a total of 245,000 people saw this, which is
Positive comments?
they range. They ran the gamut. It was kind of fun because with that too, we certainly had to go, okay, like, yeah, we had to monitor the comments about every 15 minutes. Greg and Alicia were taking turns. We had to hide a few. You know, there was a lot more than normal. Yeah, you can imagine the feelings were, you know, and it seemed like the most, and they would just cycle too. Alicia said, you know, while she was monitoring them, you know, like as more and more people would comment, then it would start over again where it looks like George is crying. It should have never closed. It's a shame, you know, and then, oh, it's beautiful. I'm glad. And people are proud that it was open, and then yeah, then many Obama comments. So yeah, that was a different one. But this is where now. So this one blew up. This was definitely like we've never seen anything close at. Prior to this, our record setter was actually this photo here, which was again a recent one. The past couple years, I think that the most engaged posts have been about 1,000 likes, 500 shares, somewhere in that range. This had gotten up actually to about 3,000 likes. I want to say like 800 shares, something. I mean, quite a few. What's interesting there is, like I said, I mean, this thing, you know, went viral. It expanded to audiences that we'd never imagined. It got an insane amount of likes, but the shares, 962. I mean, that's where like the quality of that Fan Photo Friday. I should have written it down for God's sakes. But those, I mean, there's such great photos that people like, they see that and they're just, So if that one's getting 800 shares and it's only reaching 40,000 people, this one's reaching 245,000 and it's gotten 800. I mean, so yeah, that's a great question. I mean, it's definitely that fan contest is the greatest thing, and it's by the people for the people, since we're speaking about national monuments, and people really, I mean, they identify with that. That's what they like to see. So
The document is being shared. How much of it's East River, West River?
how much is what?
East River photography versus West River photography?
It's just all Black Hills.
All.
Yeah, all Black Hills. Yeah, which is, and it's beautiful to see, because it's one of those things where, I mean, yeah, we live here, we market this region, and we've seen so many different shots of Rushmore or this or that, but these people, I mean, it's just such a different perspective. Or I mean, they're putting up these great photos that we started, using them quite a bit. I mean, I use them in every presentation I do now. I'm making sure to include, Facebook, because there's so many great shots. Or if you look in our annual report, we have Facebook fan photos that were, of the Black Hills that are in there. So yeah, all Black Hills. It's amazing. But yeah, that was fun to watch. It was one of those things where, I look at the Pages app on my phone, and all of a sudden it's, the red number of, the new likes and the new the letting me know how many likes or comments or whatever there. It was blowing up, and so every day you'd look at one point, and then a couple hours later you'd look, and it was 1,000 more likes, 1,000 more, this or that. So that was pretty fun to watch. And like I said, the last 6 weeks we tweaked things a little bit. As I said, we didn't completely redo what we were doing. It was just building on what was already there. And the last 6 weeks we've seen traffic and engagement that we just are excited to see this time next year what kind of numbers we're going to be looking at. Another new item coming from the production crew this year was Black Hills and Badlands creative work. Being a membership organization, when we're out there, I mean, it's not just selling spots on blackhillsbadlands.com or selling an ad and vacation guide. I mean, Lyra, Cassie, we get questions all the time from members, especially the smaller businesses that are looking for help on things like, where should I get my flyers printed? I need a new website, I need a video, where can I go to get that done? Who should I talk to? And so we saw a real big need there, and a real big opportunity for us to utilize Greg and his talents and start doing things for our members. We want to make sure that we're helping take care of them, offering these marketing opportunities or these advertising options that maybe they can't get anywhere else. So this year we started on doing a little creative work for the people that are out there. Greg did 5 websites this past year. He's already got one lined up for next year, so we'll see what happens from there. And the nice thing is they've been performing. The average bounce rate on the 5 websites that he's done, we're at about 30%, which we need to get that's a number that I would love to see our website at. Time on site for these little websites, 3 minutes, and they're a lot smaller. They're not the 300 plus pages that we have at blackhillsbadlands.com. I mean, these are 4 or 5 page, tiny, to the point websites that are getting 3 minutes, time on site. A couple of these, they've only been up since July, and they've already gotten thousands and thousands of visitors in just a 3-4 month sample. So I mean, they've been performing really well. Price point, they're quite affordable compared to some of the other things out there. They're small websites, so they're easy to do. They don't need much. Greg can do that, take care of it, and give them something in return that's going to perform, that's going to function. So
I would say for us especially, to be able to hit those right price points for our members, we've got a lot of smaller members. I mean, they can't invest thousands and thousands and thousands in putting together an effective website. So I say these sites, they're substantial and well done enough that they're going to get good attention and people will stay on like they have. And what a great service we're now offering our membership with websites and videos.
And the performance part of it, I mean, that's the thing. This is an investment, and they're seeing that return immediately. And they have a well-functioning website. I mean, that pays for itself and then some, and they're seeing that.
You're giving them analytics.
Yeah, the whole thing. And that's, another part of the program that kind of works out well is, so it's not just say one and done. It's something that we can build. I mean, we're continue working with them. We can make the updates. We're providing analytics, and we have the annual hosting fee, and our hosting costs are cheap. But it's something too that now if we keep doing a lot of these, that's going to be a revenue source for us that going forward now. That next year, it'll be over $1,000. A couple years from now, I mean, that could be $5,000-$10,000 worth of steady income that we can use to, again, put into marketing. So we'll see where that grows. And it's not just websites that we've been able to do. There's been a couple, again, these questions come up. I need a new video done. What would you guys recommend? Or I've looked here and this was the price I had on it. And that's where we've just, rather than trying to refer them on or say, I don't know, we say, yeah, you know what? We can do that for you. We'll put together a plan. And one thing that he just recently finished was, Heart Ranch approached us, needed a new sales video. So far, he's delivered to them a 30-second spot that they can have on their website, a shorter 2-minute kind of teaser one, and then a 10-minute sales video that they have people that call up, ask, they can send out that full 10-minute to them. But then we'll go in his worm. But yeah, that's that's one that, like I said, they just they had kind of some different needs. That was one different cut. The 10-minute sales video, Greg had interviews with about 4 or 5 different couples that were cut in between and really breaking up between the action shots, whatever. That was really speaking to the family offerings that they have at our Heart Ranch. The grandparent experience, everything, and it worked out really nice. And they were pretty happy with the results. And they got a few more that they talked about getting done over this next couple year with next year with us. So. And then last thing, graphic design. We did an illustrated map. Cole worked on that one. That was, again, something that came up, and we want to make sure that, we're helping members out in any way we can, and especially, and we make a little bit of money off it too. So she's done a couple logos and a couple of maps, or that one illustrated map too in the time. So websites, photos, videos, graphic design, and this is something that we'll probably work to get the word out there just a little bit more next year, just to let members understand that if you have a need for this sort of creative, that we're definitely an option out there. And we can put together pricing for them. So, hostings. This past year we had the Washington Nationals was a fun one. Those guys came out in February. They, during every Washington National home baseball game, they have these mascots here race, which they were famous for. Teddy hadn't won in like 200 and something races, and he finally won this past year. But they wanted, so to kick off that Geico sponsored promotion, they wanted a nice little video, 15-second, 30-second, or whatever it is, that plays on the scoreboard, leading up to the race. They talked with us a couple years ago about filming from Mount Rushmore and starting off there. It was something they'd been wanting to do for the longest time. They were able to have that happen this year, so that was fun, hosting them, kind of getting them around. Houston Chronicle, that was one. Matt Peters met with a travel writer down there when we were doing a little blitz for travel agents, and they came up. That actually wasn't too much hosting necessarily. I think he helped with accommodations, but got a nice little feature in their Sunday Houston Chronicle, probably about 2 or 3 months ago, which is definitely invaluable. And then the outdoor AGLO, which is outdoor outdoor writers, Association of Great Lake. Okay, there it is. They were out here for a convention up in Deadwood for the regional, and now they had such a good time, they want to look at possibly doing their national here, either next year or the one after. So, okay, the actual numbers now. So those were all part of our marketing department, our marketing budget. Total marketing budget for the year, the actual came in at $769,554, which is 38.2% of our 2013 total budget, and it was 7% up over 2012. So we're able to grow that a little bit. And that's one thing that every chance we can, we're going to make sure that we can take more money and put it into marketing. So, and how that kind of worked out then, of that $769,000, $307,000 national advertising, $62,000 for group tour specific. Black Hills Publications was $307,000. Digital website research development, travel app, digital strategies, $22,000. Hosting came in at $24,000. Most of that was the AGLO conference. And then self-promo expenses, that's promoting why people should join the association, the cost of sending Alicia to go here, there, whatever. So over the course of the year, and most of that was association promotion was $15,802. We're always talking about mix. Go ahead. It's part of the national advertising. So yeah, we're always talking about mix in the marketing committee. And this is something that to step out of just our national advertising part where we have road trip, print, digital, just to kind of show. It's one thing where we want to find balance in what we're doing, and you can see. Just putting it in a nice pie there between what we're doing for national marketing, trying to inspire people to come here, what we're producing in green there for once they are here, getting them, as far as serving our mission statement, getting people here once they're here, making sure they see all of the Black Hills and extend their stay. You can see where we got a pretty even approach to both of those. Referencing the buying process, the inspiring, Midwest Living is here and Meredith Publishing to present, some of their research that they have from their readership, where it's talking about the new journey, the new process that travelers go through when they're deciding, do I need a vacation? Where should I go? Inspiring, discover, action, enjoy. The updated to the sales funnel. So like I said, with that, and this is just kind of to show, taking now that pie graph and looking at, okay, we had balance there. Of our total marketing budget, of that $700,000, how when we're thinking of the traveler and the needs there, how we're fulfilling, what roles we're having, what opportunities we have, you can see that it's, again, pretty balanced. A lot of our national advertising is here in the Inspire, trying to get them here. Midwest Living, magazines, regional print. Road Trip Roadshow kind of starts falling now because, you know, when they're the Discover Action, they've decided, yeah, I want a vacation next year. Now where should I go? That's when they start doing the research, and then that's when we start those conversations of, hey, here's more about the Black Hills and why you should come. And then on the other end now, once they are here and making sure that they get around, that they enjoy the Black Hills to the fullest, that they extend their stay, that's where we have the products now like Exploring Magazine, the Black Hills Map, Snow Venture. Vacation Guide kind of serves all functions from Inspiring too, now that they're here, since we do it as a, since it does have its fulfillment. It's out there at the shows for people to pick up. It's, you know, for the people that are kind of more in this process that are calling into states, or, you know, the state, us, chamber is looking for more information, that's getting that, so that one kind of appears. But again, you know, pretty good balance throughout. Talking now just on the national, you know, of that total marketing budget, the national advertising aspect of it, of that 307,000, you know, strip away the others, and you can see then that that's, you know, we're taking that chunk of the budget to inspire people to get here. You know, that other part is, that's where we fill in the rest of the picture. But with the national advertising, that's what we want to get them coming to the Black Hills. We want to show them what a beautiful place we have here. So our 2013 actual mix for our national advertising, Road Trip Roadshow was the biggest one. That came at about, say it was 33% of our budget. Print was number 2 at about 27%. Digital, I think, or it was 28% on print, 27% on digital. TV, lead gen came in kind of filling out the pie. Our print efforts this past year, we put a lot into Midwest Living with our 4-page gatefold there. High impact piece, definitely, you know, a high dollar amount on that. So that ate up a lot, but we filled it in. You know, Latitudes Magazine, they had a nice story on Rapid City this year, and we hopped in on a co-op on that to get a nice spread. You know, something we hadn't planned for going into the year, but the opportunity arose and we took advantage of it. And here's kind of the breakdown. So of that, you can see we spent $91,414 on print this year. Results from that, you know, it's one of those things with print, trying to track it. We use unique URLs and we use QR codes, which both have limited use. You know, that's one of those things where not every, I mean, how many people in this room use QR codes on a regular basis? Yeah, none, you know, so it's, but it's one of the only things that we can do. And then, you know, Senraz answering the phone and taking, they will hear the feedback and they'll track for us too. But, so that's where we put together, since we're comparing this all together, that's where looking at print and comparing to digital, we just kind of, I call them clicks or hits, you know, as far as people that went to our website that we could directly track from the different pieces. Worth pointing out, the Road Trip Roadshow guide that we produced, we only did 15,000 copies. That got out to about 24,000 readers, that's it. But it had, those were really qualified, those are people that came, got that from us personally, we talked to them. So you can see the clicks, hits from that came in significant. I mean, of this total 4,873, 3,811 were coming from that one alone. And Midwest Living, even though it was the most expensive at $47,500, was one of the better buys that we had last year. Just looking at what we were able to get for, again, the clicks to our website, you know, that one produced, and that's not counting then the online sweepstakes that we have with it. So I mean, that was definitely a good buy, and that's where, you know, looking at the numbers now, going into next year, that's something that will probably continue. It's a nice membership program or co-op offering that we have out there for print. Worked well for us, so we'll plan on doing that again. Road Trip Roadshow. This year we had a total of, I was going to say 10 stops to probably 12 different events. 105,000 we spent in that street team, those street team efforts. Handed out 2,777 bags. Got about 34,931 leads, and that's people signing up for the ATV from what we handed to them, and then directing them to our website to sign up there. Of that 34,000, say 28,000 came from the website. Total, we generated about a conservative count of 1.29 million impressions, and that's taking into attendance at these events that we go to. We found going to events works out really well because we're able to keep the price on each stop, since we have a captive audience. You know, we have 40, 50, 60,000 people going to, you know, this place looking to be entertained. we have a captive crowd. We can get in there on the cheap, get in there for a weekend and really maximize our return. So we track event attendance, and we look at the DOT highway counts and factor in some billboards. We do conservative there. So that's where we come up with that 1.29 million impressions. New ones this year, we added the Mall of America to the Twins Blast. That one, and that's where we gave out most of our bags and got most of our leads. That was an $8,000 add-on to that, which we wanted to do last year, but it was when it came in at $8,000, we're like, we're already spending enough. We don't have that. But this year we wanted to give it a shot, and it did work out well, and so that's something that we certainly want to consider last year. We had great play there with taking the Rapid City CVB mascots, having them set up, have the ATV, the Jeep. I mean, we had this little corner where it's the Great American Road Trip in the Black Hills of South Dakota, and we had a lot of people stopping by and engaging with the mascots, of course, and taking travel information. So, and then also Colorado Springs was another event we added this year, and then Chicago. We jumped out there for 2 events that were on the same weekend to see what sort of response we would have. The numbers there, that's one that it definitely wasn't one of our better event stops for the year, but that was such a different one too that we know like it would be something definitely for us to try again, but change up our approach. We go there saying, hey, sign up to win an ATV. People in Chicago are going, what's this? Is this a 3-wheeler? Where do I park it? Like they have no idea. So noted, and we will, next time we go back, vacation. Everybody wanted the road trip. They're like, oh, I can't win a road trip. It's like, well, you win the ATV, you can come pick it up. So next year we go back there. We'll make sure that we go there. No, I didn't. No, we just, so we'll go back there. I think that's one of those things that could be worth trying again for us, because we do see so much from Illinois. Again, number 3 for our website last year. We change up our messaging. We'll have one thing that we want to do for the Road Trip Roadshow is make sure that we have a booth that's not say just like a white pop-up tent. We're going to get full bleed, full color, Great American Road Trip, Rushmore. So when we're set up in those things amongst all the tents of vendors, we're standing out. We'll give a vacation away. Doing those things, change up our approach a little bit. So, but it was awesome getting there. I went on that one myself, and it's good market research. I mean, it's one of those things where you're out there and you talk to them. And Chicago was different. Of most of the stops we go to, where number one, you usually talk about Crazy Horse and the progress of the mountain, then Mount Rushmore and that thing. In Chicago, it was Badlands. Badlands was number 1. Wall Drug was number 2. I had more conversations about Wall Drug than I've had anywhere else, and it was fitting. I went to get the Suburban on the night when we were tearing down. I pull out of the parking lot, and I'm at the stoplight, and I look up, and sure enough, the car in front of me with the Illinois plate has the big, where the heck is Wall Drug? Right on the, like, all right. So it's good to go out there and see what these people are, like what interests they have, what they're looking for, good market research. So I was glad to go, and certainly that's something we can look at going back to next year and changing up our approach a little bit. So, okay, digital. This is one, digital is I'm personally kind of a fan of, because it's just one of those things where $84,000 we put into it, 63,662 clicks. It's a different audience. It's less of the inspiring people to get here. You're starting to get them down different in the process. So you will see these engagement metrics change a little bit. They're going to be higher, $1.29 cost per click. But with a little, you're able to generate a lot, and that's where the 16.2 million impressions, just from things like $2,700 spent on Facebook pay-per-click and promoted posts, or remarketing banners with South Dakota Tourism on a co-op there, generating 1.69 million impressions, 7,000 clicks on $4,000. I mean, we certainly were able to get a lot. Midwest Living online sweepstakes, in conjunction with the print aspect we have there, 6,679 clicks to date, 91 conversions. Now, the thing is, though, is that's still open-ended. We still have a running with them, where we gave away a trip, so we'll have probably about 5,000 plus names. Last time we did it, we got 5,000 plus names added to our database, so that conversion there will probably jump up considerably. The other kind of filling it out, then the smaller slices of the pie that we looked at for the mix, TV. That was strictly South Dakota Tourism Co-op that we had in the Denver metro market. Lead gen, we started with $6,000 budgeted for this year. We only spent $1,150 because we were able to get our ATV giveaway donated from Polaris. That was something where we approached them, told them what we're doing with the Road Trip Roadshow, told them, and kind of gave them a package that, yeah, we're advertising this on our website. We're out there at all these different events, pushing this ATV, and so they gave us a ATV, and then they gave us a RZR. So they gave us about $18,000 worth of equipment. They wanted to be a part of that, and that was great because it just kind of helped confirm what we were doing there. That it was a good thing. So okay, and then so kind of that was 2013. Any questions on any of that? Is that enough? We're at an hour, so yeah, we'll call her good. Plans for 2014. Biggest thing is going to be a new website. That's something that, again, we see some opportunities there. We see some things that we're concerned about that we know that it's 6 years on a website is we're patching holes, and that ship is sinking fast. So that's something that's going to be our major project for next year. We're going to work on that. The other thing, more member creative work. Like I said, we had a good start with that, and hopefully we'll continue adding to what Greg's doing. And then when we add to that, hopefully we add to our staff to make sure that we're taking care of those things. The greater content development, now that we switched around workings in our office where prior to that we had a publications editor who worked a lot on the magazines, and that was the one responsible for writing. Working on the magazines took up a lot of that time, though, as far as, and not even just say writing for them, but laying them out, doing that sort of thing. Now we switched it up to where Alicia Bowe, our communications director, rather than publications editor, she's doing a lot more on the web, writing for the blog, that sort of thing, so we can really, the more and greater content development there. And with that, another piece that we have to show is not just having good stories too,
Is that you, Matt? Yeah.
but putting together things like this, specific for niche interests.
It definitely can be a spiritual experience. There's something about getting out and being in the woods.
Oh, the Phoenix was kind of a group of the old guys. They created this trail, and then some little hoodlum kids started going out there. We all kind of got a whiff of mountain biking years back, and we were all BMXers and dirt bikers, and we wanted to jump, so we just kind of went out and started shoveling and building jumps. It's a family sport. It's something that you can do for a lifetime, and it's something you can do with your kids, and you can do with your grandparents, and no matter what style of riding you're into, it's just a healthy, fun sport.
So like I said, building on this past year, these are the sort of things that now that we're going to look at, taking advantage of opportunities, taking advantage of, we have, Matt's avid biker, Alicia's an avid rock climber, so we can really start generating more content, speaking to these different niches that, we have a little bit out there now, but, again, see opportunities. So, and that's, we had, like I said, we see some great results from the marketing campaign that we had this past year, and hopefully, in 2014 we'll just continue working on that, calibrating, tweaking what we have. If it works, we'll measure it. If it's great, if it doesn't work, we try something else. If it works, we continue doing it and just building on what we had last year. So that's it. Any other questions or comments? All right. Well, thanks again, guys, for coming and taking your time out this morning for an hour of,